What's up, guys? We are back with a full slate of MLB action here on Friday, July 4th. We're going to give out plays on every MLB game on the slate. I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock, my pick that regardless of price, I think is the highest chance of cashing today. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally answer every comment every single day. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and it pays to check back a couple of times per day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Yesterday, not our best day, guys. We had been running pretty hot. I guess we were due for a little bit of a downtick. We got up to a tough start there with the Tigers at minus 160. Ends was horrendous, giving up 8 runs over his 4 innings, and the bullpen was bad too, so they end up eventually losing that game against the Nationals 11-7. So not great there. We were on the Cubs at minus 155. That was a 1-0 extra inning win. Getting to start off with that runner on second makes home field advantage even more crazy in the extra innings. We'll for sure take the win. Horton was absolutely nuts over his 7 innings, so we'll definitely take that one. We had the no-run first inning there in that Royals-Seattle Mariners game, and that cashed at a better price than initially thought thanks to the pitching change. We tried to answer back everyone in the comments that asked about it, and we updated the pinned comment as well as soon as the change was confirmed to let everybody know that we still thought that no-run first inning was a very good spot. Now, unfortunately, the dog of the day and the lock of the day, not having too much fun. The Milwaukee Brewers at plus 130 were our dog of the day. That was a tough 3-2 loss. They were right there the whole game. Quintana was fine, but not quite good enough, and Peterson was actually very good there for the Mets, but still a super close game that could have gone either way, so I don't feel terrible about taking the plus 130 there. We had the Astros at minus 180 as our massive lock of the day. A terrible day on the mound for Houston, but they still almost made the comeback there in the 9th inning before eventually losing by 1. But shout out to everybody in the comments who was doubting that play. Turns out you were right about that one, so well played. Hopefully you cashed in there on the other side, but a tough day out there to go 2-3 overall. Let's see if we can bounce back here on a pretty loaded 4th of July slate. We've got a ton of games to break down, and first up, we've got the Boston Red Sox going on the road to take on the Washington Nationals. Boston comes into this game fresh off an 8-4 loss there in Game 3 against the Reds, but at 43-45 in the year, they've got to focus on the big picture because they've got a long way to go here. They'll hand the ball to Lucas Giolito, who's 4-1 this season, a 3.99 ERA. His last start, he was great. 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 run. It was unearned there against the Toronto Blue Jays in a 15-1 win. Boston is also 4-1 over his last 5 starts. Now, he did have that start against the Angels where he gave up 7 runs and they still won that game 11-9. But still, he's been throwing the ball well. We'll see what he can do here against the Nationals. Not necessarily the scariest team, but they have their weird outbursts every once in a while. So we'll see how he does. Obviously, the Boston bullpen, not a big concern. A 3.61 bullpen ERA is absolutely fine. The offense, 4, 5, 13, 3, 15, 0, and 2 over their last several games. A bit all over the place, if I'm being honest. Obviously, not as good of an offense as they were earlier in the season. I don't expect that to change. So we'll see what they can get done here on the road against the Nationals, who just won 2 out of 3 there against the Tigers. They'll hand the ball here to Michael Soroka, who's 3-5 on the year, a 4.70 ERA. His last couple of starts have looked okay. 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 run there against the Angels is great. 5 1/3 innings, 2 hits, 3 earned runs there against the Dodgers with 10 strikeouts to boot is also very good, but neither one of those were wins for the Angels. They're actually 0-4 over his last 4 starts, so we'll see what he can do here against the Red Sox, but not a guy that gets a lot of run support even when he throws the ball well. Obviously, the Nationals bullpen's terrible. A 5.89 bullpen ERA is worst in the majors right now, and the offense, while it does come into this game swinging some pretty hot bats, has not been amazing over the course of the year. I mean, 11, 9, 2, 7, 2, and 15 over your last several games. You could do some positive stuff. Obviously, James Woods has been hitting the cover off the ball and is going to hit in the home run derby, so we'll see how that goes. They're 14th in runs scored, 20th in on-base percentage. We'll see. We'll see what we get out of the Nationals here at the plate. Now, looking at the numbers for this game, it's basically a coin flip according to their odds makers. The Red Sox are minus 115. The Nationals are minus 105. We've got a total of 8.5 out there. Boston, 18-25 on the road, 22-21 to the over on the road. Washington, 17-25 at home, 21-20-1 to the under at home. I'm going to lean slightly towards Giolito here and the Red Sox in game, the first game of this 4th of July slate. I don't necessarily love this spot, but I think Boston's in a bit of a better spot. I think the Nationals are in a bit of a letdown spot here, but I'm not really in the business of backing road teams when I can avoid it, and this is a spot I can definitely avoid. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Cincinnati Reds going on the road to take on the Philadelphia Phillies. The Reds come into this game fresh off of getting a salvaging one win there against the Red Sox in Game 3 of that series. They'll hand the ball in this one to Andrew Abbott, who's been nuts this year, 7-1, a 1.79 ERA. He's fresh off a 5-inning, 7-hit, 1 earned run appearance there against the Padres, where the Reds bullpen actually ended up costing him big time, and the Reds lose that game 6-4. But he's been amazing this season, no doubt about that. We'll see what he can do here against the Phillies, but I'm not expecting him to have too much trouble, if I'm being honest. This dude has been crazy good. So we'll see what Abbott can do here. The Reds bullpen is a big question mark. A 4.11 bullpen ERA, looking nothing like the amazing bullpen from earlier in the season. Now, the offense maybe turn things around a little bit. I mean, 8-3, 6-3, 4-8, and 1 over their last few games. Kind of an inconsistent team at the plate, but they're 9th in runs scored. They're 15th in on-base percentage. They're batting .247 as a team. That's 15th in the majors in batting average. So, yeah, they've got some interesting players out there, and Ellie De La Cruz is one of the most exciting players in the majors. So I'm never going to be writing this team off completely in terms of their offense. Now, they're going up against a Phillies team that can definitely swing it. They're fresh off winning 2 out of 3 against the Padres. They'll hand the ball here to Jesus Luzardo, who's 7-4 this season, a 4.06 ERA. His last time out, 5 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs against the Atlanta Braves in a game the Phillies eventually lost 6-1. We'll see what he does in this one going up against the Reds. He's been wildly inconsistent lately, like wildly inconsistent. He hasn't faced the Reds yet this year. We'll see which version of Luzardo we get pitching at home here in this game. The Phillies bullpen, a huge problem, even bigger problem than the Reds bullpen, a 4.39 bullpen ERA, and this has been a bullpen that's struggled all year long. No, good positive times for them. It's just been rough. So the Phillies are going to need to score some runs, and they've scored 5, 4, 4, 2, and 1 over the last few games. Definitely not lighting things on fire. They're 11th in the majors in runs scored. They are 7th in batting average, but I can't really feel it coming from the Phillies right now. They're just not looking that great up there at the plate. So looking at the numbers, I'm a little bit surprised. The Reds are plus 140. The Phillies are minus 160. We've got totals out there of 8.5 or 8. The Reds are 21-23 on the road. They're a 500 over-under team on the road. The Phillies, 28-15 at home, 21-19-3 to the over at home. I'm not interested in the total in this game. I would maybe lean towards under, but not really. I think the best spot in this game is to take the Reds at plus 140. I think they've got an excellent chance to go into Philadelphia and get the win in this game, especially with Abbott on the mound. He's been amazing this season, and with 2 bullpens that suck and neither offense really, showing me that much at the moment, I think the Reds are in a very good spot, and they could definitely potentially be our dog of the day. Next up, we've got one of the marquee games here of a very exciting 4th of July slate. We have the St. Louis Cardinals going on the road to take on the Chicago Cubs. Now, the Cardinals are slumping pretty aggressively. They did not score a run in that series at Pittsburgh, losing 7-0, 1-0, and 5-0. They'll hand the ball to Michaelis in this game. He's 4-5 on the year, a 4.76 ERA, coming off a terrible start there against Cleveland, but he has been okay-ish this season. We'll see what he looks like against the Cubs, but I'm not expecting miracles here from Michaelis. He's been, it's been pretty brutal. It's been pretty brutal this season. Not that bad. He tends to get a lot of run support somehow. I don't know why, but we'll see what he can do. I'm not expecting miracles from him. I'm expecting the Cardinals bullpen to be okay, not great. A 3.74 bullpen ERA, certainly playable, but this has been a bullpen we've seen have its issues this year. The offense is gone. I don't know how they haven't scored a run in 3 games, but it is a dramatic drop off. They're all the way down to 10th in runs scored, 11th in on base percentage. This is brutal, guys. They're resting guys. I mean, we see Contreras and Arenado sit out that loss to the Pirates. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. They're trying to give these guys a chance to reset and get back out there and hit the ball, but it hasn't really happened. So, they got to snap out of that funk at some point. We'll see if it happens here against the Cubs, who are 52-35 on the year. They just swept the Cleveland Guardians. Slam that thumbs up button, guys, if you enjoyed cashing the Cubs there yesterday. Now, they will hand the ball in this one to Colin Ray, who's 5-3 this season, a 4.37 ERA. His last start was against the Astros. He was very good. 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs in a 12-3 win. The Cubs are 4-1 over his last 5 starts. That has to feel pretty good. Has he faced the Cardinals yet? No, he has not faced the Cardinals yet this season. So we'll see what he does in this matchup. But I'm expecting him to be solid out there, especially if the Cardinals continue to slump. The Cubs' bullpen's been amazing, second best in the majors right now, and continues to look better and better. The offense, 1-5-5-0 and 12 over their last few games. One of the best offenses in the majors, guys. They're second in runs scored. They're 4th in batting average, 6th in on-base percentage. I'm not expecting a ton of problems for the Cubs at the plate. So looking at the numbers here, guys, the Cardinals are plus 130. The Cubs are minus 155. We've got a total of 10 out there. St. Louis is 21-24 on the road. basically 500 over-under team on the road. The Cubs 27-13 at home, 20-17-3 to the over at home. I'm not interested in the total of 10 really in this game, but I'm definitely interested in riding the Cubs once again, guys. Minus 155 seems a little bit rich with Colin Ray on the mound, but Michaelis is terrible for the Cardinals, and that offense could not possibly be colder right now. So definitely give me the Cubs here at minus 155 with a chance to make it to the pinned comment. Hey guys, hopping in here with a quick shout out to the sponsor of today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily MLB and UFC picks with NFL and college football coming up before you know it. Major League Baseball has been our most profitable sport the last several years in a row and is off to a fantastic first half of the 2025 season. At StumpTheSpread.com, you'll be able to see exclusive free picks that are only posted there, our free-to-use bet size calculator, and our premium top confidence picks which might not and usually will not always match what you see here in the video, as I am not the premium capper for MLB over there at Stump the Spread. We have a monster over there that does our MLB capping, guys, and he has been on one heck of the heater. He's got very, very many more years of MLB capping experience than I have, and he used some very sophisticated tools and algorithms to make his predictions, and my God, have they been spot on recently, guys. Starting on July 1st, so this is so far this month, he went 3-0 on the first, the picks you can see on the screen right now. He went 2-1 there on the second, cashing 2 and breaking that Angels play, which is very close to a win itself. And then on the third, so yesterday, he cashed the Cubs as a 5-unit play, the Mets as a 2-unit play, and if the Royals come through, which they're currently up 3-1, headed into the bottom of the 8th inning there against the Mariners, that'll be a 3-0 day. So yeah, by my math, guys, that would be 8-1 over his last 9. Pretty crazy stuff. So definitely consider going over there, signing up for a premium membership at StumpTheSpread.com. It's a ton of work goes into those premium picks, guys. It's as good as we can possibly do. We're giving it our absolute best. Everything we can put into those games, we are putting into those games. Now, also you need to get over to StumpTheSpread.com to sign up for our free email newsletter. It's absolutely free. It's one email with at least 1, sometimes 2 free picks straight to your inbox every single day, as well as information on niche betting, sports like golf, tennis, all kinds of interesting stuff in there. I know there was a big golf write-up very, very recently, so you should definitely get over there and sign up. All we need is your name and your email address. That's it, and it's free information straight to your inbox every single day. Also, if you're a huge fan of what we're doing here every single day, you can sign up for a channel membership by clicking the little join button right below the video. Channel members are eligible for our members-only giveaways. We'll be giving away another Stump the Spread hoodie here on July 7th. So coming up in just a couple days, definitely get in on that, guys. It's a free hoodie straight to your inbox if you're one of our members that wins. I think we've got around 75 to 78 members, so you got a pretty decent chance, and we're going to be doing one giveaway here every single week. Also, channel members get early access to all of our videos and get their names up on screen in every single video, just like you've been seeing. But guys, we got to dive back in. We've got a ton of games still to cover here on this very, very loaded Friday slate. And next up, we're going to be looking at the New York Yankees going on the road to take on the New York Mets in another one of those marquee matchups. The Yankees come into this game 48-39 on the season, fresh off of losing all 4 there against the Toronto Blue Jays and dropping out of the top spot there in the AL East. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Marcus Stroman, who comes into this game, guys. It's going to be his second start since coming off the IL. Missed basically 2.5 months there and came back and looked good there against the Athletics his last time out. So we'll see if he can run it back here going up against the Mets. A little bit different of an opponent. The Yankees bullpen has been struggling mightily recently, all the way up to a 3.90 bullpen ERA. Not good. The offense has actually been hitting the ball pretty well. I mean, 5, 9, 5, and 4 over those 4 games against the Blue Jays. You don't expect to lose every single one of those, but they sure enough did. They're 4th in the majors in runs scored and 2nd in on-base percentage, but they're just going to have to find a way to do more if they want to win these games, it looks like. So we'll see what they do here against the Mets, who are 50-38 on the season. They just won 2 out of 3 against the Brewers. They'll hand the ball in this one to Justin Hagman. He comes into this game, I mean, normally, a bullpen guy, but he's going to be making this start. It's only his 3rd outing this season. He pitched back on the 19th of last month. So, bringing this guy back up, we'll see what he looks like. He's been fine in very limited action so far this year. So we'll see what he looks like. Getting thrown into the fire there against the Yankees probably feels a little bit sketch. The Mets bullpen's obviously been okay, but not amazing lately, up to a 3.76 bullpen ERA, so we'll see how that goes. The offense has been swinging some pretty cold bats. I mean, 3, 7, 2, 1, 2, and 1 over their last few games is not great. They're 14th in the majors in runs scored. They're 12th in on-base percentage. They've had some injuries and stuff. Like, this team is having a little bit of a struggle right now. So, looking at the numbers, the odds makers have it close to the coin flip. The Yankees are minus 104. The Mets are minus 112. We got a total of 9 out there. The Yankees are 22 and 21 on the road, 22, 19, and 2 to the under on the road. The Mets are 30 and 13 at home, 22, 19, and 2 to the under at home. In this specific spot, given the Mets pitching situation, I am going to lean slightly towards the Yankees here to figure things out, but I have no major lean on this game, guys. It seems very up in the air. I think it is very close to a coin flip, and neither one of these teams really gets me going right now. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Tampa Bay Rays going on the road here to take on the Minnesota Twins. The Rays come into this one fresh off a much-needed 6-5 win there over the Athletics. They'll hand the ball in this game to my twin brother, Zach Littell. He comes into this game 7-7 on the year, a 3.61 ERA. His last 2 starts, though, he was lights out. Very good. 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 run against Detroit. 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 run against Baltimore. He's been looking really, really good. So we'll see what he does here against the Twins. I feel like, he faced them earlier this season, back in May 26th. 6 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, and a 7-2 win. So very good stuff there. I'm expecting more good stuff from him in this outing, no doubt about that. The bullpen for Tampa Bay has been pretty solid this year. They've had some question marks here recently, but a 3.75 bullpen ERA doesn't scare me too much. The offense, maybe cooling off a little bit. They're coming off a 6-run game, and they've been pretty darn good this year, guys. 7th in runs scored, 2nd in batting average, batting .259 as a team. I think they're going to figure it back out at the plate and look totally fine. They're taking on a Twins team that's lost 4 out of their last 5. They're handing the ball in this one to Chris Paddock, who's 3-7 this year, a 4.70 ERA. His last time out was against the Tigers, 4 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, and gave up 2 home runs. Does not look great. He faced Tampa Bay back in the very tail end of May there and was okay. 5 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs. But that was a game we eventually saw the Twins lose 7-2. And part of the reason they lost that game, and part of the reason they've been struggling here lately, is their bullpen is looking terrible. A 4.25 bullpen ERA is a disaster, and the offense is not nearly good enough to pick them up, guys. They've scored 1, 2, 0, 0, 5, 4, and 10 over their last few games. They're 20th in runs scored. They're 22nd in on-base percentage. I don't really love anybody that they're running up to the plate at the moment. So looking at the numbers for this game, I'm kind of shocked. The Rays are minus 102. The Twins are minus 120. We've got a total of 9.5 out there. Tampa Bay is actually 20-14 on the road. One of the few road teams you can feel really good about backing here in the MLB. They're 19-15 to the under on the road. Minnesota 22-17 at home and a 500 over/under team at home. Guys, I'm definitely taking the Rays and my twin brother Zach Littell here on the road on the 4th of July. Give me the Rays at minus 102. I think it's a very good play. It's definitely going straight to the pinned comment. Rolling right along here, guys, we've got the Texas Rangers going on the road to take on the San Diego Padres. The Rangers, 43-44 on the season. They just won 2 out of 3 there against the Orioles. They definitely got their work cut out for them in the AL West, but they're playing pretty solid baseball right now. They'll hand the ball in this game to Kumar Rocker. This young 25-year-old is 3-4 on the year, a 6.13 ERA. But his last 3 starts have all looked very, very good. He had a little bit of a rough time in his first outing coming off the IL after missing a couple months, but after that, shut out the White Sox, gave up 2 runs against the Pirates, and gave up 2 runs over 6 innings while striking out 6 and walking 1 against the Seattle Mariners. All 3 of those starts have been wins for the Rangers. So Rocker looking really, really good all of a sudden. We'll see if he can continue that. Obviously, the Rangers bullpen, no major question marks there, guys. A 3.34 bullpen ERA is 4th best in the majors, and the offense, shockingly enough, is actually finding some runs, guys. They've scored 6, 10, 6, 4, 3, and 6 over their last few, which is monster numbers given what this team has done at the plate in general this year. I mean, they're 25th in runs scored and 28th in on-base percentage, but they're swinging some pretty warm bats coming into this game. So we'll see what they can do against the Padres, who have lost 3 out of their last 4. They'll hand the ball in this game to Randy Vasquez, who's 3-4 this season, a 3.84 ERA. His last time out did not look very sharp against the Reds. 4 1/3 innings, 9 hits, 4 earned runs. Now, fortunately for him, the Padres managed to put up 6 runs in that game and get him the win, and the bullpen looked great, but he didn't look good in that outing. He has looked good in general this season, so we'll see what he does against the Rangers, not a team he's faced, but we'll wait and see, guys. The Padres bullpens looked good. A 3.38 bullpen ERA is clearly excellent, but the offense for this team is atrocious. 1-6-0-2-6-1-1 over their last several games. They are 23rd in runs scored. They are 18th in batting average, 24th in slugging percentage. Just not the kind of offense you would have thought the Padres would have. So looking at the numbers, the Rangers are plus 100. The Padres are minus 120. We've got a total of 8.5 out there. The Rangers are 17-25 on the road, 24-17-1 to the under on the road. The Padres are 25-14 at home, 23-15-1 to the under at home. I actually think under 8.5 is very, very live in this game. I wouldn't argue with anybody that wanted to take that. I definitely think it's playable. In terms of the side, though, I don't know if I'm going to be on this in a big way, but I think you got to take the Rangers at plus 100. I think it's a pretty decent value. I don't like taking Vasquez. He's burned us way too many times this season, so I'll go ahead and lean towards the Rangers, and maybe their bats will stay hot. Rolling right along here, guys, we're looking at the Los Angeles Angels going on the road to take on the Toronto Blue Jays. The Angels come into this game 500 on the year. If you'd have asked me the Angels are going to be 86 games into the season to be 500, I would have laughed and said no shot, but that's where they're at. They'll hand the ball in this game to Kyle Hendricks, who's 5-6 this season, a 4.66 ERA. His last time out, he was great against the Nationals. 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run allowed, and an 8-2 win. Also, guys, the Angels are 4-1 over his last 5 starts. Some very respectable stuff. Now, going up against Toronto could be a little bit tougher of a situation. We'll see what Hendricks looks like out there. I'm not holding my breath for him to be amazing. I'm also not holding my breath for that Angels bullpen to be amazing. A 5.22 bullpen ERA, not so hot. The offense, though, is finding a way. 5, 3, 4, 4, 8, and 9 runs over their last few games is better than normal for this squad. They're 17th in runs scored. They're 28th in batting average, 10th in slugging percentage, though. They find a way to get some runs across the plate, and we'll see what they can do here against a very hot Toronto team that just took over the top spot there in the AL East. They've won 5 in a row, including a 4-game sweep there of the Yankees. They'll hand the ball in this game to Eric Lauer, who's 4-1 this year, a 2.60 ERA. His last start was against the Red Sox, and it wasn't the sharpest necessarily, but 4 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs in a 5-3 win. Definitely playable, and he's been throwing the ball really well over his last 5 starts. So I don't have a lot of bad stuff to say in terms of history against the Angels this year. He did face them back in early May, but only lasted a third of an inning, I would assume. Oh yeah, I think that was a bullpen appearance. So we'll see what he looks like in this one. I'm honestly expecting pretty good stuff out of him in this outing. And in terms of the Toronto bullpen, obviously it's been decent. Maybe not elite, but a 3.72 bullpen ERA. Not going to complain about that. The offense has been going absolutely nuts for the Blue Jays, guys. 8, 11, 12, 5, 5, 1, and 9 over their last several games. They're 12th in runs scored, 4th in on-base percentage in the majors, 3rd in batting average. This is a scary, scary offensive team, and that's why they're big favorites in this game. The Angels are plus 136. The Blue Jays are minus 162. We've got a total of 9.5. The Angels 22-23 on the road, 24-20-1 to the over on the road. Toronto's 28-16 at home, 28-15-1 to the over at home. Even with these trends, I actually think under 9.5 is more live than the over, but I don't love that play. I am going to lean slightly towards Toronto and see if they can keep this hot run going, but I don't think this is a play that's going in the pinned comment. I could see them having a bit of a letdown after that, very, very huge series they had there against the Yankees. Rapid fire through these games, guys. We're looking at the Detroit Tigers going on the road to take on the Cleveland Guardians. The Tigers are 54-34 on the year, but that's after losing 2 in a row against the Nationals. They'll hand the ball in this game to Reese Olson. It sounds like, coming back off that finger issue, coming off the 15-day IL. The last time he pitched was back on May 17th there against Toronto, and he was really, really good in that outing, but then hurt his finger, and yeah, what are you going to do? You're a pitcher, you hurt your finger, you're going to have to take some time off. But he's looked really, really good this season. We'll see what he looks like against the Guardians. Has he faced? No, he hasn't faced Cleveland yet this year. But Reese Olson, a young guy that we are definitely very, very high on. The Tigers bullpen has definitely taken some steps back recently. A 3.82 bullpen ERA, nothing too special. Not looking too good against Washington in that series, but they could bounce back. They've got some solid arms out there. The offense has been very good for this team all year long. And 7, 4, and 11 over their last 3 games is nothing bad. They're 5th in runs scored, 7th in on-base percentage, getting on base at a 325 clip. I'm not too worried about these Detroit Tigers, and we'll see what they can get done here against the Guardians, a team I'm very worried about. They've lost 7 in a row, just got swept there by the Cubs. They'll hand the ball to Slade Ciccone in this game, who's 3-3 this season, a 3.64 ERA. He's coming off a okay start against the... I'm not even going to say that. A pretty bad start against the Cardinals. 4 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, and a 9-6 loss is not great. He has generally looked pretty good. Since coming back, his season didn't start until mid-May, but he's looked pretty decent out there. We'll see what he looks like against Detroit, a team he did have a pretty good start against back in late May. 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run allowed, and a 3-1 win. So we'll see. The Cleveland bullpen is a bit of a question mark. A 3.88 bullpen ERA is not great. The offense is also terrible, guys. Just straight up terrible. I mean, they've scored 1, 5, 5. Oh no, just kidding. 1, 4, 2, 0, 6, and 0 over their last few games. Jose Ramirez not getting the job done, really. I mean, we've got Ortiz facing gambling stuff going on there. So, yeah, a lot of weird stuff going on in Cleveland right now. So, not super high on them. And neither the odds makers are actually kind of on them a little bit. I mean, the Tigers are minus 110. The Guardians are minus 105. We've got a total of 8. Detroit is 24-19 on the road, so a decent road team. 28-15 to the over on the road. That's an MLB best to the over. Cleveland's a 500 team at home, and they're a slight under team at home, but I don't care about the total in this game. I think the Tigers at minus 110 is a bit of a gift in this spot. I think there's a lot of weird stuff going on with Cleveland right now. The bats are looking terrible. I don't think they're going to look good against Reese Olson. I'm expecting him to be very sharp coming off the IL. Definitely give me the Tigers here on the road. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Milwaukee Brewers going on the road to take on the Miami Marlins. The Brewers come into this game, guys, 48-39 on the year, but they just lost 2 out of 3 against the Mets. They'll hand the ball here to Quinn Priester, who's 6-2 this year, a 3.35 ERA. He's fresh off a dominant start against Colorado. It was Colorado, but still, 7 innings, giving up 1 hit, no runs, and striking out 11 is impressive. The Brewers are also 5-0 over his last 5 starts, so a lot of positives piling up for this young guy. He's going to go against a Marlins team that he hasn't faced yet this year, but I'm expecting good stuff here from Quinn Priester. I'm also expecting still pretty mediocre stuff from that Milwaukee bullpen. It hasn't been a tragedy recently, but a 4.15 bullpen ERA, generally not going to get the job done. Now, the offense, that's been another question mark recently. I mean, 2, 3, 7, 3, and 5 over their last few games. They're okay at the plate. They're 8th in runs scored somehow, but 16th in batting average, 21st in slugging percentage. Not a squad you're going to be super terrified of at the plate. So looking at the Marlins for this game, they've been weirdly good recently. They just won 2 out of 3 against the Twins. They're up to 39-46 on the year, so maybe they're making some sort of real push, although it doesn't really feel like that. They'll hand the ball in this game to Sandy Alcantara, who's 4-8 this season, a 6.98 ERA. His last time out got absolutely smashed there at Arizona. 6 innings, 10 hits, 7 runs in a 8-7 win for the Marlins, which is crazy. But before that, he'd been looking pretty decent. We'll see what he can get up to here against Milwaukee. Not a team that he's faced this year, but I'm not expecting him to be terrible. He's actually been throwing the ball a little bit better here recently, and the Marlins bullpen has also been looking a little bit better. A 4.28 bullpen ERA looks terrible, but recently they've been, not so bad. As a team, as a pitching staff, they only gave up 2 runs in that entire, or three runs in that entire series against the Twins. So, I mean, got to give them some credit. So looking at the numbers for this game, guys, the Brewers are minus 115. The Marlins are minus 105. We've got totals of 8.5 or 8 out there. I'm going to lean a bit toward, Milwaukee's a 500 road team, guys. They're basically a 500 over-under team on the road. Miami is 18-25 at home. That's record's been getting better. They're also a significant under team at home, and that's why I think A, under 8.5, and B, no run first inning are both super live in this game. Now, I'm not really willing to back Alcantara in this spot, if I'm being totally honest, not against Priester, so I will lean slightly towards the Brewers, but I think no run first inning in this game is very, very reasonable. Cruising right along here, guys, we're looking at the Baltimore Orioles going on the road to take on the Atlanta Braves. The Orioles just lost 2 out of 3 there in Texas against the Rangers and got shut out in the last game, so that probably doesn't feel great. They'll hand the ball here to Charlie Morton, who's 4-7 this season, a 5.63 ERA. Uncle Charlie's actually been pretty decent. I mean, his last start was against the Rangers, and it was 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, and what was eventually a 6-5 loss, but overall, I think he's been more than serviceable this season. You can't expect miracles out of a 41-year-old, but he's been borderline putting up miracles if we're being 100% honest. Now, I do worry about that Baltimore bullpen. A 4.61 ERA coming out of the bullpen is not good and a huge concern for this team down the stretch, but they've got plenty of concerns down the stretch this year, including their offense, which has been atrocious, especially considering how good they were a season ago. They're 21st in runs scored. They are 16th in slugging percentage, 22nd in batting average, batting 240 as a team. Just not a very good team at the plate. So we'll see what they do here on the road against the Braves, who come into this one also a squad underachieving this year. They're 39-47 on the year. They just lost 2 out of 3 against the Angels. They're hitting the ball in this game to Spencer Strider, who's 3-6 on the year, a 3.86 ERA. His last start was against the Phillies. He was actually very good. 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, but didn't get any run support, and we eventually see the Braves lose that game 2-1. He did everything he could to keep him in that game, though. There's no doubt about that. He hasn't faced the Orioles yet this season, but I'm expecting him to have a good amount of success in this game. The bullpen for Atlanta this year has been pretty decent. A 3.63 bullpen ERA. Not about to complain about that. I will, however, complain a little bit about their offense. They've scored 1-8, 0-1, 6, and 0 over their last few games. We've seen Matt Olson do some positive stuff, I guess. We've seen a good season from Austin Riley, but they need an awful lot more than that. They're 24th in runs scored, 16th in on-base percentage, 19th in batting average. Like, not a team that I'm super jazzed up about offensively. So, looking at the numbers for this game, I'm not shocked. I see the Orioles here at plus 148, the Braves at minus 175. You got a total of 8.5. Baltimore's only 18-27 on the road. Not very good. They're 29-15-1 to the under on the road. That's an MLB best to the under. Atlanta is 24-18 at home, 25-14-3 to the under at home. Guys, those are trends we just can't ignore. I don't know if I'm interested in no-run first inning in this game necessarily, although I don't hate it. Pretty much any game where I would take the under, you could talk me into the no-run first inning. But I do think under 8.5 is certainly alive and well in this game. I wouldn't hate that one bit. You could take under in the first 5 if you wanted to. Also, avoid the Baltimore bullpen. But either way, I don't think we're going to see much offense in this game whatsoever. And if you're begging me for a side, I'll take the Braves. But that price for a team with no offense is way too high. Next up, we've got something of a 4th of July toilet bowl. We've got the Chicago White Sox going on the road to take on the Colorado Rockies in a clash of the 2 worst teams in the majors. The White Sox just got swept by the Dodgers. They're handing the ball in this game to Adrian Hauser, who's actually been really good for them. 3-2, a 1.90 ERA. His last start, he was lights out against the Giants. 7 innings, 4 hits, no runs. 1 in a 1-0 shutout there for the White Sox. So great stuff from him. He's honestly been really good over all 5 of his last 5 starts. We'll see what he looks like here against the Rockies, but I'm not expecting him to suddenly have trouble. I think Hauser on the mound in this one, a very reasonable spot for him. The White Sox bullpen has not been good, but a 4.07 bullpen ERA is not the disaster that we're seeing from the Rockies bullpen. The offense for the White Sox is obviously not very good. They're second to last in runs scored. They're last in batting average, last in slugging percentage, and second to last in on-base percentage. So you kind of get the picture there, guys. They can't hit the ball. They're taking on a Rockies team that's 20-67 on the year. They're fresh off a 7-6 win against the Astros, which is kind of wild. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Antonio Senzatella, who's 3-11 on the year, a 6.69 ERA. His last amount gave up 8 hits and 5 earned runs against the Brewers and a 5-0 loss. He did have a couple decent starts in there. Good start against Arizona, good start against Washington, terrible start against San Francisco. We'll see what we get from him here against the White Sox. Obviously, not a very good team at the plate. The bullpen for the Rockies has been atrocious, 5th worst in the majors, a 4.61 bullpen ERA. And the offense, while better than the White Sox, not much, guys. They're actually last in on-base percentage, but 23rd in slugging and 27th in batting average. And, you got to take into account they get the Coors Field bump in half their games. So we'll see what happens in this one. But, guys, this is going to be quite a terrible baseball game. The White Sox are minus 120. The Rockies are plus 105. We got a total of 11 out there. Chicago, 9-34 on the road, an MLB worst. They're 27-14-2 to the under on the road. The White Sox, 8-34 at home. That's an MLB worst. They are 22-19-1 to the under at home. First up, I don't hate under 11. I just don't know if these two teams are good enough to score 12 runs in a game. So under 11 seems live. In terms of a side, I'll definitely take the White Sox here with Hauser on the mound. He is kind of a monster, guys, a secret monster. I don't know if there's any, it just sucks to see him pitching these, good games for a terrible team. But give me the White Sox here at minus 120 and a good hard look at under 11. Next up, we're looking at the Houston Astros going on the road to take on the LA Dodgers. The Astros come into this game 52-35 on the year, fresh off that embarrassing 7-6 loss yesterday against the Rockies. They'll hand the ball in this one to Lance McCullers Jr., who's 1-3 this season, a 6.61 ERA. His last start, he got absolutely dismantled there by the Cubs, and his little start before that, he got knocked around pretty aggressively by the White Sox, so not somebody we're necessarily super high on about to face the toughest offense in the majors. The bullpen for the Astros, though, has been excellent. Top 3 in the majors basically all year long. The offense was looking pretty good. I mean, I guess still is, but I'm a little bit worried here. I mean, they went up against the Rockies, the Cubs, and the Phillies, and yeah, against the Cubs and the Phillies, the offense didn't look so great, and then it looks really good against the Rockies. Like, there's a reason this team is 18th in the majors in runs scored and 14th in on-base percentage. I think this is a round average kind of offense, if you ask me. So we'll see what they can do here against the Dodgers, who just swept the White Sox. Congratulations. They'll hand the ball here to Ben Kasparius. He's making the start. He's normally a bullpen guy. He's made a spot start before back on the 11th of June. It was very good against the Padres. So we'll see what he can do in this one. His last 2 outings, though, both long relief appearances, and it looked bad in both of them. So I'm worried about him. I'm very worried about the Dodgers bullpen. It's been terrible this year. The offense, though, has been the best in the majors by a pretty considerable margin. Yeah, they're first in every major statistical category. We've seen Ohtani be amazing. They've scored 6, 5, 6, 5, 5, 5, and 3 over their last few games and haven't even been hitting the ball that well. So looking at the numbers here, the Astros are plus 150. The Dodgers are minus 180. We've got totals out there of 9 or 9.5. Houston's a 500 road team. They're 21, 16, and 3 to the under on the road. The Dodgers are 32 and 14 at home, 28, 16, and 2 to the over at home. I'm not interested in the total in this game, but I am interested in the Dodgers at minus 180. I don't know if this is going to be my lock of the day with Kasparius and like kind of a bullpen start going on for the Dodgers, and that's a bit sketchy, but I do like them a lot. I think they're in a very good spot to win this game, especially at home, and I think they're going to put up an awful lot of offense. Next on the docket, we've got the Kansas City Royals going on the road to take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Royals are actually still playing right now in Seattle. It's the bottom of the 9th with 2 outs, runners on second and third. They're up 3-2 there over Seattle. Their bullpen's trying to mess this up and cost our premium capper and our premium members their perfect 3-0 day over there. So hopefully they can figure things out here. They're handing the ball in this game against the Diamondbacks to Kris Bubic, who's gonna have to travel. It is a night game at least, so they've got that. But Bubic is 6-6 on the year, a 2.25 ERA. He's fresh off a very solid start against the Dodgers. Now the Royals eventually took the loss, but you're gonna see why here in just a second. And it's not the pitching staff. The Royals bullpen's good, a 3.55 bullpen ERA, but the offense is atrocious. Last in runs scored, 25th in on-base percentage, 28th in slugging percentage. This is one of the weakest offensive teams in the majors, and it's kind of embarrassing here. They're about to go up against one of the best offensive teams in the majors, the Diamondbacks. Although they come into this one, they just split a 4-game series against the Giants. They'll hand the ball here to Eduardo Rodriguez, who's 3-4 on the year, a 5.13 ERA. His last 5 starts have all been excellent, though. Hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs over any of them. Somehow Arizona's still only 2-3 over that span, partially because of their terrible bullpen. That's at least got to be mentioned. Now, even if Rodriguez does have a good outing, that bullpen could cost them the game. A 5.22 bullpen ERA is atrocious. They need to pile up more runs. And I mean, 2, 5, 8, and 4 over their last 4 games. Not really what's up for a team that's 3rd in runs scored and 3rd in on-base percentage. They need to be putting up 8, 9 runs a game if they want to get these wins. So looking at the numbers, the Royals are minus 105. The Diamondbacks are minus 115. We've got totals out there of 8.5 or 8. Kansas City is 20-23 on the road, 24, 18-1 to the under on the road. Arizona is a 500 home team, and they're a slight over team at home. I'm generally going to lean towards the Diamondbacks here at minus 115. I'm not interested in the total, but I do think Arizona probably takes care of business at home, especially against a Royals team that did just finish things off. So we'll take it. A 3-0 day for our premium members. That's great. But I think the Royals are going to be a little bit tired here going up against the Diamondbacks. Last but not least, we're looking at the San Francisco Giants going on the road to take on the Sacramento Athletics. The Giants just won the last 2 games of that series there against the Diamondbacks, so they're all the way down to 47 and 41 on the year. They'll hand the ball in this game to Justin Verlander, who's 0-5 this season, a 4.26 ERA. He is fresh off a very good start against the White Sox. It was the White Sox, but still, we're going to give this ancient dude credit. 6 innings, 5 hits, only a single earned run allowed, but it was a 5-2 loss. The Giants, not a team with much offense. Their bullpen's been excellent, best in the majors most of the year, a 2.95 bullpen ERA. But when you only score a run or 2 a game, they're 19th in runs scored, 21st on base percentage, 25th in batting average. Not a lot of positive things that are going to be said by me about that Giants offense, and that's going to make it a little bit tough for Verlander to come up with a win. So we'll see what he does here against the Athletics, who are 36 and 53 on the year. They did just win 2 out of 3 against the Rays, kind of crazily. They'll hand the ball here to JP Sears, who's 6-7 this year, a 5.09 ERA. His last start, lights out against the Yankees, guys. 5 2/3 innings, 2 hits, no runs in a 7-0 win. Over his last 5 starts, I'd say he's looked good in 3 of them, but not more. So we'll see what he does here against the Giants, a team he faced back in mid-May and was not very good. So That's a big concern. Not concerned about the Giants bullpen, but I'm very concerned about the Athletics bullpen. A 5.77 bullpen ERA is a huge yikes for me. And the offense, I mean, it's been fine recently. 5, 4, 6, 5, and 7 over their last few games. They're 16th in runs scored, 18th in on-base percentage, 9th in slugging percentage. When you've got Soderson, Rooker, and Wilson, you've got a pretty solid lineup, but they're not as consistent as you would wish for them to be. So looking at the numbers here, the odds makers have it as a coin flip. You can find both teams listed out there at -110. We've got a total of 8.5, or a total of 10 out there. San Francisco, 21 and 24 on the road, basically a 500 over/under team on the road. The Athletics, 15 and 27 at home, 24, 27, and 1 to the over at home. I'm not going to take over 10. That seems kind of bonkers, so I guess I lean towards the under. But in terms of a side, I think this might actually be a spot for Verlander to come up with a win. I think the Giants are going to find a way to put some runs on the board. Maybe Verlander can pitch around all these kind of scary bats for the Athletics. But yeah, this is a slight lean, guys. This is not pinned comment stuff. That's all the games we have here for the 4th of July, guys. Make sure you're celebrating carefully and responsibly out there. Don't blow your hand off with a firework. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets. Subscribe to the channel if you're new out there. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I appreciate every single one of you for watching these videos. Make sure you click the link in the description. Get over to StumpTheSpread.com. Check out our premium MLB handicapper who is on a very sick run and just went 3-0 there on the 3rd. Also, get on that free email list. It's super easy, super straightforward. Name, email address, that's it, and you're getting free information straight to your inbox every single day. Guys, we'll see you right back here tomorrow on the 5th. Don't be too hungover. We'll be here at the same time, same place for more sports betting action.